What's going on, Sky Squad? We are back in the building. And of course, today we are talking the Real Housewives of Atlanta because it is Real Housewives of Atlanta premiere day, baby. I am super excited. I cannot wait. I cannot wait. And according to my schedule right here, I will be going live immediately after the episode, and we'll be talking with the Jasmine brand. So yeah, be on the lookout for that. Okay. Now, with that being said, stay tuned for that at 9 p.m. I'm excited. With that being said, we got to talk about what's going on with Sheree and with Marlo and everything that they're talking about. So, Sheree is giving us details on her thoughts on the whole Nene situation. She's talking about who she wants back on the cast and a little bit about her beef with Drew Sidora. And Marlo, of course, is talking about Kenya Moore and how Kenya Moore said that she passed the villain scepter on to Marlo. So we're going to get into that tea. So let's take it first things first on over to Sheree and Nene. Okay, so two OGs, baby, two OGs in the building. And so we got to talk about what Sheree had to say about this lawsuit that we have been covering all week long with Nene Leakes and Bravo and True and Andy Cohen and all that. Now, Sheree Whitfield tells Entertainment Tonight she is staying far away from that, okay? When asked if she had a similar experience to the one that Nene is describing, she's denying it. She says, I have a great relationship with Bravo, and I have not experienced what she's experienced, but I do wish her the best in all of her endeavors. Obviously, not surprising that Sheree would say that because she's employed by the network. So she's at this point in time, you want to have an amicable relationship with the network that you're on, especially just in terms of Hollywood. And if you are going to make, you know, any statements or complaints against them, you need to be prepared to likely never work with that network or studio again. And then at that point, why would you want to, right? So Sheree's back on Bravo. I'm happy for it. We've been asking for it. At first, I was unsure about it. I was definitely skeptical because I was like, why y'all keep sending her away, then bringing her back? But based on what we're seeing, it's going to be a Sheree heavy storyline season, and I'm happy about that. Now, Sheree also goes on to say that she felt like when they asked her back, like the show had gotten away from its original premise about being really about a group of friends and the drama that goes on amongst that group. And, she, along with a lot of the fans, had felt like, they had gotten so far from that because the girls felt more like coworkers than friends. So she feels like the show is back to what it once was before, a sentiment that Marlo herself has actually echoed. Now, let's get into who exactly Sheree would bring back to the franchise at this point. And of course, it's none other than Lisa Wu. Okay, so for me, I'm like, you know what? I would be interested in it. I would definitely be interested in it because I felt like Lisa Wu, and Sheree also says this as well, but she says Lisa and her have maintained a great friendship throughout the years. And she says, I don't think you guys got to see who Lisa really, really is. And I kind of agree with that. I feel like we got 2 seasons of her, and I don't necessarily know, especially back then, that a lot of people knew what reality TV was going to be or what the shows were really going to be. But then, Lisa Wu also had that second opportunity with Hollywood Divas, and we saw a bit more of her spicy side on that. So I wouldn't be mad about a, Lisa Wu Hartwell return, maybe in a friend capacity first to see what she brings, and then maybe as a full time. Who knows? But of course, this would be getting back to that original friendship group. Next, she is talking about her issues with Drew Sidora with Us Weekly. Okay. She does say, I'm nervous about watching everything because you know what? Sometimes when you're in the moment, sometimes things don't go our way in terms of like, who you might be fighting with. And she says, and you may say something that you're like, oh my gosh, why did I say that? But when you're taping, you're maybe in a heated argument or anything that's going on. You are not thinking about the cameras at the time. And so she says that things got heated with one particular housewife who we've heard about over and over. It's Drew. She says, she's like, so I go in, I don't know Drew from a can of paint. Like, she literally comes at me. Okay. And she says, I had to give her a who gonna check me. Okay. So we're going to get another infamous line from Sheree this season. She's like, girl, you can't go after me. I am not her. You can't do this, honey. It kind of kept going throughout the season. And she says, and finally, we got to a place of conflict. Now, Drew, for her part, she tells Us Weekly that Sheree and her, they had a big misunderstanding. So she was always trying to get them back on the same page with that. So that's what Drew is saying. But we will see how it all plays out as the season goes on. So now we got to talk about, of course, Kenya Moore and Marlo Hampton, which is probably set to be the biggest rivalry of the season. And so, again, consider this video really more of a primer for what we're going to be getting into tonight and what clues we can pick up on that we may see early in the episodes that may lead to some of these major blowups as they occur throughout the season. Because Marlo tells Entertainment Tonight in an interview with Bryce Sander that basically, she feels like Kenya Moore has a case of can't take. Basically, Kenya Moore has a case of can't take the Marlo Hampton, okay, getting a peach, all right? She says, I don't even know what medicine I can give her to cure it because she has a bad taste of she can't take me. And it's just sad because I thought she would be really supportive of me out that decade, doing my thing. I deserve this seat at the table. Don't be negative in saying that I'm ghetto. I don't deserve it. Come on, girl, support me. Please support me, sis. Now, she's basically saying she tried to maintain her friendship with Kenya Moore. She says, I came into this season being an amazing friend, 10 toes down, being a friend that's supportive, going above and beyond. And what I've realized, Kenya is not here for me. She's just not. She does not know how to reciprocate that, how to be supportive of me, how to celebrate me, how to encourage me, how to uplift me. She's just not here for it. And what's really disappointing is we're both Aquariuses. We're both strong women. We're both come from the same background with mom and parent issues and our upbringing. Why can't we come together? But guess what? We just can't. God is like, I'm keeping you away from that girl over there, Marlo. She has some issues. Leave her there on her own little planet. And I'm okay with that. She does go on to say, I can love her. We're cordial. We're on a group text with each other. And she goes on to tell us they have unblocked each other. So that's good. But that's a good thing. And she says, we're going to stay there. Now, with regards to Kenya saying that Kenya passed on the villain scepter to Marlo and Marlo picked it up, Marlo says, oh, so she came in lighter and brighter and I picked up the scepter for the villain? More like I came in here as the hero and I'm keeping everyone's peaches juicy and sweeter. I think Kenya's a little delusional. Seriously, I've come to that conclusion because you will see you for yourself. I'm going to not even badmouth her. As the season reveals, you're going to see the true Kenya. She says one thing, and this is interesting. She says one thing Granny always said, you can't hide your authentic self. The real Kenya is going to shine bright like a diamond. The same way she poured that drink on Ramona, the same way she backstabbed Cynthia, who's so sweet and has rode for Kenya for years, for her to betray Cynthia, I know that you are not the friend for me. That part. Baby, let me tell you. I wasn't really ready for her to bring up that Cynthia thing. And it's interesting that someone did. And I'll be interested to see if that actually comes up, throughout the season with particularly between the issues with Marlo and Kenya, if Cynthia's name will get tossed into the mix. Okay. I will be very, very interested in seeing that because we have never really gotten outside of maybe like a couple of interviews here and there the real, tea on where they are in their friendship right now. So to me, I wonder if Marlo or anyone else will address that. Okay. And so, of course, we also have to talk about the Marlo and the Nene of it all. Okay. So here's something that I found that was very interesting. You know, the article says somewhat surprisingly that Marlo hasn't heard anything from her longtime friend and former housewife, Nene Leakes, about getting the gig. Now, we know again, as we talked about earlier, Nene is, busy doing the suing and things like that. Okay. And I'm sure doing her own work and doing her own thing. And Marlo says it's okay about losing touch with Nene. I'm gonna support me, my immediate circle of people who are genuinely happy for me and support me. So that is all that matters. So I guess we know where things stand with Nene and Marlo at this point. Okay. What do you guys think of all this? Are you excited about the new season? Are you excited about tonight? I am super excited to be chatting with the Jasmine brand tonight at 9 p.m. right after the episode. We're gonna break it all down and talk about the who, what, and the where and the why. So make sure you guys are following the Jasmine brand page tonight on Instagram so that we can you guys can hear us chop it up. And we will talk to you guys in the next video.